Hello everyone, welcome to Barca News. It is August 9th, 2025, and we do have bad news in regards to Robert Lewandowski's injury. Also, tomorrow could be a key day for Iñaki Peña's exit. And finally, reports stating that Frenkie is on the verge of extending his contract with Barcelona. We have a lot to discuss, so let's begin. Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Mo. We'll begin this video with the news that Barcelona are planning to request from UEFA the actual reasons on why they have fined Hansi Flick. Now, as reported in yesterday's video, Barcelona have fined Lewandowski and Lamine Yamal for violations of anti-doping rule. They also fined the club itself because the fans lit up fireworks and threw objects. But they have also fined Hansi Flick 20,000 euros, and he will miss the first match of the Champions League. Him and Marcus Sorg, his assistant Marcus Sorg, was also fined 20,000 euros, and he will also miss the first match of the Champions League. So Barcelona are planning to submit an official request to UEFA, so UEFA can tell the club, well, why is this fine? Like, where is it coming from? Because all they just said that Flick and Sorg were fined for violations of conduct rules, but they didn't specify which exact behavior. And depending on what UEFA come back with, what their response is, Barcelona could consider appealing, because again, Flick would be suspended for the first match of the Champions League. Now, speaking of official announcements, today Barcelona announced the sad news that Iñigo Martínez has officially left the club. Of course, by now you know that Iñigo Martínez agreed to join the Saudi club Al Nassr. Barcelona agreed to rescind his contract, so he left as a free agent. And Barcelona confirming this news today through their official media outlets. As you know, Iñigo Martínez will free up 14 million euros in Barcelona's wage bill. But of course, since Barcelona are not under the 1-to-1 rule, only 8.4 million euros that Barcelona will be able to use to register someone else. Now, there's currently conflicting reports of why Iñigo Martínez ended up leaving as a free agent. Some saying that it was a gentleman agreement between the club and Iñigo that if a big offer comes, he would leave for free. Some are saying it was a clause because he did renew his contract most recently, and there was a clause in there that would allow him to leave for free. Look, either way, it's like, why, right? Okay, I'm glad that Barcelona honored the gentleman agreement if it existed. But why did you enter into that agreement to begin with? And if it is a clause, obviously there's nothing you could do. But again, why did you agree to that clause to begin with? I think it was an absolute waste. I mean, I understand Iñigo Martínez is 34 years old. There's only 1 year left on his contract. But still, we could have gotten some money for him. Maybe at least 5 million euros. But to give away players for free, it just does not make any sense to me. Especially to Saudi clubs who are paying, an arm and a leg for anybody out there. But anyways, on to the next bit of news, because today was the final training ahead of tomorrow's match. Tomorrow's match against Como in the Joan Gamper Trophy will be the final friendly match of the preseason. And then, of course, next week, La Liga will officially begin, where Barcelona are going to be playing against Mallorca. And I have to say, I'm very excited for tomorrow's match. I think it's going to be a pretty good friendly match. I think Como have been doing things really well. They've won so far 4 out of 4 of their preseason matches. So I expect it to be, an entertaining match in the Joan Gamper. And, of course, as always, as per the tradition of the Joan Gamper Trophy matches, Barcelona posted the picture of the new signings holding the Joan Gamper Trophy. This is a tradition for every Joan Gamper Trophy match, where the new signings take a picture together holding the trophy. So there we see Joan Garcia, Marcus Rashford, and of course, Rooney Bargi. Now, of course, tomorrow, as I mentioned before, I will be doing a watch-along. I'm going to be doing these all throughout the season. As long as the match is on a weekend, I'll do a watch-along. So tomorrow, I'll do a watch-along for the Joan Gamper Trophy match. And speaking of tomorrow's match, I do have bad news in regards to Robert Lewandowski. As I reported in yesterday's video, Lewandowski's having some discomfort in his thigh, and as such, he was expected to miss tomorrow's match. But the bad news is it looks like he could end up missing 3 weeks, which means he would miss the first 3 fixtures of La Liga, which are against Mallorca, Levante, and Rayo. And then, of course, we do have the FIFA international break. So it's not expected to see Lewandowski on the playing field until after the FIFA international break against Valencia, which will be our first home match of the season, which is expected to be played at the Camp Nou, of course, with a restricted capacity of around 27,000 people. Now, we're going to have to see who's going to take his place. Obviously, most likely it's going to be Ferran Torres, but that also opens the door for Marcus Rashford, because we do know that Marcus Rashford can play as a 9. So we'll see who Flick opts for. Most likely it's going to be Ferran, but then Ferran did have some discomfort. He just joined group training yesterday. So who knows? Maybe we'll see Marcus Rashford tomorrow. And again, we'll see which one will be replaced with Lewandowski once La Liga begins. Now, Dani Olmo is having muscle overload problems, and he did train separately, but it's reported that Olmo is not ruled out for tomorrow's match. He could still participate, but of course, knowing Flick, most likely he won't, because Flick likes to be super cautious when it comes to his players. Now, speaking of the match, while we're still on the topic of the match with Como, as I reported before, tomorrow, Como, since they are going to be in Barcelona, obviously, for the match, they will be negotiating with Barcelona, or they will be making an official offer to Barcelona for the signing of Iñaki Peña. Now, as you know, Iñaki Peña is on his way out. Flick doesn't count on him, and the goalkeeper has decided to look for minutes somewhere else. And as I reported before, Como are interested in the goalkeeper, and they will be making an official offer tomorrow to Barcelona. Now, it's reported that Iñaki Peña is receptive to the move, since Cesc Fabregas is the coach, and there are plenty of Spanish players on the team. Iñaki Peña feels like he could, settle in quickly. Also, Como's project is ambitious and is on the rise. So that gives Iñaki Peña, a chance to play a key role in that project. So Iñaki is receptive to that move. And of course, Barcelona are open to facilitate Iñaki Peña's exit, kind of as a gesture of appreciation, because they know that Iñaki Peña was not necessarily treated fairly last season. He did do well during the first half, and then, he ended up getting benched for Wojciech Szczesny. So Barcelona open and receptive to his move. My feeling is they're going to let him go for free, just like everyone else. And again, Iñaki is open to leaving. Now, they're saying that Barcelona could consider the possibility of extending Iñaki Peña's contract, since it does expire next summer. And that way he can leave on loan, or of course it could be a permanent transfer. It's all going to depend on the official offer that Como are bringing with them tomorrow. And Iñaki Peña's agents are, open to different ways of Iñaki leaving the club and joining the Italian club. Now, speaking of renewal, since Iñaki Peña's contract could be extended, it's reported that Frenkie de Jong is on the verge of extending his contract with Barcelona until 2029. Just like Iñaki, Frenkie's contract also expires next summer. Barcelona want to extend it, and Frenkie is also open to the extension. There was some delays in the negotiations since Frenkie decided to fire his agent, Ali Dursun, because he was putting obstacles in the way of this renewal. And while it's reported that now Barcelona and the player are finalizing the last few details of the contract, where if nothing changes, Frenkie will renew until 2029. So 4 years from now, or 3 years more since the expiration of his contract. And it's expected that there's going to be, his contract is going to be, his salary is going to be restructured, because he does have a pretty high salary. Plus, Barcelona do owe him a lot of money from when he decided to defer his salary. So they're saying there's going to be some restructuring of that, which would help Barcelona's financial fair play. Anyways, that is all the news for this video. We'll be uploading another video in a few moments, so stay tuned to the channel. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment, and as always, Visca Barça.